I can't afford a super light, and even if I could, I wouldn't get one. But I did always want to try the Shape. The MCHOSE A7 V2 Ultra is what I think could be the next best thing, and it comes in at a fraction of the price. So, for $56, you get a mouse in one of 4 colors. I chose Cyber Green. You get some nice grip tape that we'll get onto later, a color matched dongle and charging cable, and Omron mechanical switches. The mouse comes with a 3950 optical, weighs just under 60 grams, is built very solid and supports true 8K wired and wireless out of the box. Now, the charging cable is quite stiff, but for the price I can look past it. On the bottom you'll find 2 buttons, one for changing the DPI and one for selecting the pairing mode, Bluetooth, 2.4 and wired. It also has a place to store the receiver, which is nice. You do also get a manual in the box, but calling it a manual is a little bit of a stretch. It's just a single sheet with instructions on connectivity and what the buttons do. And it's completely in Chinese, but you get what it's trying to tell you. The Shape is basically a 1-to-1 clone, so I won't overanalyze it. The coating is what they call a Superglide glass coating, but in plain terms it is quite reminiscent of an Endgame Gear coating found on their matte models. It's quite dry, almost chalky, and stays dry over time as well. This is something that people with more oily and sweaty hands like myself will greatly appreciate. That being said, the mouse does come with color matched grip tape, which does its job as advertised. It has a diamond pattern and sticks very well to the mouse. Although, you most likely won't need this. The skates are actually surprisingly okay for a budget mouse, large and generously sized, like on a GPX. They aren't very rounded and not super thick, but for this price point it's something I'm willing to let slide. Keep in mind you don't get a replacement pair in the box, so you'll just have to use some manner of dot skates if you do damage them. The Omron mechanicals are nice and easy to spam, not too loud, and I have not found any double clicking issues thus far. Now, the A7 V2 Ultra is also really nice from a customization standpoint because it comes with a WebDriver. As you can see, I just have this open in my browser. There is no bloatware, nothing that needs to be running in the background. Every change you make just saves directly to the mouse. Now you can have up to 6 total profiles, so this includes the onboard one that comes with the default binds, as well as 5 custom ones. This might be intriguing to some of you that also want to use this for productivity. Maybe you have very specific binds for your editing software or whatever it is you do. Maybe you just have really specific binds for different games you play. Now, this is where one of the biggest downfalls of the mouse comes in, because there is no way to toggle between profiles on the mouse. There are no physical buttons that you can use to change between profiles, and you also cannot remap any of them. As you can see, nothing here Nothing here. There is nothing you can do. So the only way to change between profiles is to go and open the WebDriver each and every time and then manually switch the profiles, which in my eyes basically makes this completely useless. So if they do make another refresh of this mouse, that's probably a feature I would like to see added. Moving on, the DPI, you can have up to 6 levels and you can change them in increments of 1. Now, I've been playing 401 DPI and I can absolutely confirm it's life-changing, and if you're not playing 401 DPI, well, you're clearly missing out. You can also separate the X and Y axes, so you can have different sensitivities depending on if you're moving the mouse up or down and side to side. I don't know why anyone would ever use this, but the option is there if you're into it. The performance tab is where stuff gets interesting. So the first thing you see here is the mode selection. So there is performance mode, which is ideal for daily work and light gaming, apparently. Gaming mode for fast-paced gaming, and apparently a quicker response. And extreme mode for longer gaming sessions. I have tested all of these, and I have not found any significant difference in how they perform. There might be a technical difference. I don't really have a way to test these, or know of a way to test these. However, as far as human perceptible differences, I don't think this is going to matter. Hibernate setting here, you can set when the mouse sleeps or never sleeps. Polling rate does go up to 8000. Now, even with 8000 Hz and the extreme mode toggle, I still managed to get about a day and a half's worth of battery out of this, and that is the mouse being used basically for a whole day and a half, roughly. So you definitely won't be disappointed. With the battery life on this thing, it does come with a 500 mAh battery. Of course, there's the LOD that you can set between 0.7 and 2 millimeters. This is possibly the only actual advantage of a 3950 over the next best thing, is being able to set the LOD slightly lower. It's not the debounce time to prevent double clicking. Keep in mind these are mechanical switches. The mouse also supports sensor rotation. Now, this is a very interesting feature. From my understanding, the philosophy behind this is it would rotate your sensor in a way where how you would normally hold your mouse, right? So you don't hold it like this most of the time, right? You hold it like this, and it's supposed to help you have more consistent aim. Now, it's quite a deep rabbit hole, but I would highly recommend watching this video from Melon on what sensor rotation is and how to take full advantage of it. There's also stuff like waveform control, which is supposed to eliminate wave-like jitters. Now, I haven't noticed any sort of jitters. I just leave this stuff off. Maybe I'm missing out on something, maybe I'm not. Maybe some super nerd in the comments can let me know. Line correction, motion sync, you know, pretty standard stuff you would see on mice nowadays. And the last tab that basically keeps you informed on what version of the firmware you're running, and you can also restore the factory settings. I think this WebDriver is absolutely fantastic. Thus far, in my small collection of gaming mice, this is the one that I liked most when customizing a mouse. It's not even close. Granted, I only have about 10-12 mice, so my library is not that big. However, if I were to just buy a mouse, this I would be absolutely delighted to use. It's very easy to understand, minus perhaps the mode selection part, because I still have no fucking clue what this does apart from how it affects the battery life. But apart from that, it is a very clearly laid out, comprehensive WebDriver, which is brilliant. As far as the in-game performance goes, the mouse is technically flawless. It does everything as advertised and doesn't feel cheap at all. I would say for the money you're paying, the features you're getting, this is one hell of a mouse that anybody who hasn't tried a GPX should try. I mean, even if you have tried a GPX, you probably should try this. I think it would be quite delightful. As far as I know, the GPX2 actually doesn't support hardware sensor rotation, so like integrated in G-Hub. Also, of course, G-Hub. You have to have it installed. It's not a WebDriver. So, you know, I mean, there's that to consider also. who would I recommend this mouse to? I would recommend this mouse to somebody who hasn't tried a super light shape and also doesn't want to sell their firstborn child to buy one, because let's be honest, that thing is way overpriced for what you're getting in 2025 going into 2026. But that has been my review of the MCHOSE A7 V2 Ultra. Obviously not sponsored, I don't get free shit sent to me. I'll leave a link in the description to the MCHOSE store where you can pick one up today.